We're going.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning. I am Jennifer Roberts, Customer Success Manager at Career Communications Group, and I would like to thank you all for joining us for today's live webinar announcing the 2019 Top Supporters of HBCU Engineering Programs. Today, we will not only announce this past year's top supporters, but also emphasize how your company's support helps plant the seeds of greatness. Now, I would like to introduce the Executive Director of Advancing Minorities Interests in Engineering, also known as AMIE, Ms. Veronica Nelson.
Thank you, Jennifer. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Advancing Minorities Interests in Engineering, I would like to thank you for your continued support of historically Black colleges and universities' engineering programs. AMIE is a coalition of corporations, government agencies, and the 15 A-BET accredited historically Black colleges and university schools of engineering, who see a diversified workforce as a competitive advantage and an essential business need. Our primary focus is to facilitate partnerships between corporations, government agencies, and one or more of the HBCU schools of engineering to implement and support programs to attract, educate, graduate, and place underrepresented minority students in engineering and computer science careers. The 15 A-BET accredited HBCU schools of engineering represent less than 3% of all the engineering schools in the country, yet they produce over 30% of all African American engineers in the United States. Approximately 1/3 of African American graduates in science and engineering are also produced at historically Black colleges and universities. And 1/4 of African American PhD recipients in science and engineering receive their undergraduate degree from a historically Black college and university. Our HBCUs are a critical resource for minority engineering talent. Our coalition of industry, government agencies, and the HBCU schools of engineering are committed to developing and enhancing programs to promote and encourage minority students to pursue engineering careers, recruiting minority students for co-op, intern, and full-time opportunities at the member companies to increase the pipeline, developing an avenue for members to exchange best practices and solutions for the development of a diversified engineering workforce, developing a strategic plan to enable engineering research and technology transfer agreements between engineering schools at HBCUs and member corporations or government agencies, and communicating the value proposition of AMIE and the capabilities that exist at our HBCU schools of engineering. It is critical to ensure stronger collaboration with corporations and government agencies. In order to continue to make an impact on building a talented and exceptional diverse STEM pipeline, we must invest in our HBCU schools of engineering and work together to develop strategic, sustainable partnerships. I want to thank all of you for what you do and what you will continue to do to support our HBCU schools of engineering. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Nelson. To further explain the effect top supporters have on HBCUs, I would like to introduce the Dean of the College of Engineering at North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University, Dr. Robin Coker.
Hello, everyone. It is an honor to be able to address you today. As mentioned, I am not only the Dean at the College of Engineering at North Carolina A&T, but I also chair the HBCU Engineering Deans Council, which consists of the deans of the 15 historically Black colleges and universities that Ms. Nelson mentioned. Those universities all have ABET engineering accredited programs, ABET accredited programs, and our entire council appreciates the top supporters being highlighted today. I could read you the list, but Please know you can find the list of all of our universities on AMIE's website, so I do encourage you to visit there. For North Carolina A&T's College of Engineering, the support of our corporate and government partners helps us to ensure that our programs are relevant and that their support and engagement also helps us provide the fertile ground necessary to ensure that we create the necessary ecosystem to cultivate excellence in academics, innovation, and research. So together, we shape the student talent that ultimately becomes the workforce that our corporate and government partners require to continue to achieve their own deliverables. We also, by working together, shape the next generation of faculty. Now, I realize how easy it is to assume that corporate and government interactions begin and end with scholarships, and scholarship support through our corporate supporters is absolutely vital to our institutions. Yet the scholarship support is only the beginning. At North Carolina A&T, our corporate and government partners also help us power the activities associated with how our students are prepared for their professional futures. So for instance, experiential learning or hands-on learning is another way to describe that our students engage in as part of their curricula is many ways supported through the supporters. That means that they are partners when we think of the design projects that our undergraduates work on, but they're also partners in thinking of some of the research that our faculty and students engage with. We know that consistent with industry trends across our nation, industries and government organizations have rediscovered the win-win formula that corporate, university, and government partnerships are necessary in order for corporations to reach their own mission-specific objectives. So partnering with the universities of the HBCU Engineering Deans Council also provides the partners with a chance to benefit from the strong technical knowledge and the diverse thought and innovative perspectives that our engineering and computer science bachelor's, master's, and doctoral level students bring to their industries. Yet these partners also have the benefit of being able to be the go-to choice for our students because their engagement goes well beyond only recruiting our students. So the partners on this that's being highlighted today, they're also trusted partners at our universities and certainly at North Carolina A&T for our strategic initiatives to ensure that our students are competitive, meaning that they are being prepared as competitive professionals. And so that means that those supporters, by engaging with our institutions, also influence our students and help them to tune themselves to be effective when working with their corporations. But what may not be as clear is that these top supporters of HBCUs also engage with us on our campuses to ensure, again, that our students are competitive, but they also can influence our curricula. And with the fast change of industry today, it's necessary that our curricula are also well aware of what's necessary so that we're always relevant and we're always current. And so supporters of our HBCUs are able to provide our students with the key professional and developmental and the research experiences required for their career preparedness. A wonderful thing that I found in my experiences in working with North Carolina A&T supporters that are included in the top supporters list is that maintaining strong communication between the academicians, the students, and the corporations has been essential. This ensures that our relationships continue to evolve with return on investment in mind. And ROI, return on investment, is important to our engineering programs at our universities, all of our HBCU universities, the corporations, and the government agencies, since that's how we all achieve our organizational goals. Ultimately, this list of supporters includes industry and government leaders that are front and center in collaborating with our universities on a common goal, ensuring that as engineers and computer scientists, we are focused on providing technical solutions and a workforce that's positioned to solve the complex and global problems of our time. The fast pace of change in business requires that we work together well in preparing that workforce and also in creating the products and solutions that the challenges of our times require. So on behalf of the HBCU Engineering Deans Council, we salute the top supporters for understanding that when you invest in our HBCU universities, you are enabling America to be competitive. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Koger. Now we will hear from Mr. Oliver Bo Leslie, Bea alumni and HBCU chairperson, who will discuss why industry should support HBCU engineering programs.
Thank you, Jennifer, and good morning to you all. I would like to acknowledge our 2019 top supporters of our HBCUs. Thank you for your continued support. Now, I would like to speak to you briefly on what does being a top supporter mean for your organization? What are the benefits of supporting engineering programs at HBCUs? And how does your organization benefit from partnering with these esteemed institutions? I was talking with a colleague of mine, Dr. Anthony Jr., who I consider to be an expert on forging relationships with government agencies, corporate America, and diverse institutions of higher education. And he said to me, the top supporters of the institutions have been recognized because their organizations understand and they appreciate ECE. What does ECE mean? It means embrace, cultivate, and embody. This is why you are here today, because your organizations have embraced diversity, they have cultivated talent, and they embody opportunities. And we are happy to have you here because you are the standard bearers who represents the goals and values of Bea, AMIE, and the HBCU institutions. We are pleased and proud that you are helping in achieving our goals. When the question is asked, what does being a top supporter mean for your organization? Remember ECE, embrace, cultivate, and embody. The 15 HBCU schools of engineering represents less than 3% of all engineering schools in the country, yet they produce over 30% of all Black American engineers in the U.S. Approximately 1/3 of Black American graduates in science and engineering are also produced by HBCUs. 1/4 of PhDs in science and engineering received their undergraduate degree from HBCUs. When the question is asked, what are the benefits of supporting engineering programs at HBCUs? Remember, HBCUs are a great resource pool for minority engineering talent. Your organizations benefit from partnering with these HBCUs by recruiting and hiring some of the brightest candidates to help enhance a diversified workforce. You also will benefit from identifying subcontract and research opportunities with student participation, which will prepare them for entry into the workforce. On behalf of CCG, AMIE, the Council of Engineering Deans of the 15 ABET accredited HBCU engineering schools, and the Bea Alumni Association, thank you, top supporters, for your continued support. Back to you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Mr. Leslie, for sharing the benefits of becoming a top supporter. Next, we will have Career Communication Group's publisher and CEO, Dr. Tyrone Taborn, discuss the top supporter survey methodology.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining this very, very important phone call. I come to you not only as the publisher of one of the nation's leading magazines that has been promoting science and engineering over the past 5-6 decades, but also as a member of the Board of Regents at Morgan State University. and a member of AMIE. So it's very important to me as I've watched the pipeline increase and the hard work of so many and the support of so many key companies. That's why it's appropriate that we talk about the corporate support in Black History Month, as we recognize what's happened in the past, but move forward into March, and we march forward in order to keep this effort going. 17 years ago, we actually started the survey. And what's important about this survey is that while it is small in size, meaning a handful of people actually vote, it is a huge national award. This is a huge national recognition. We have found since this survey started, it has clearly empowered a lot of us on the ground, both in corporate America, government, and outside. You know, you do a whole lot, but it's really nice to be able to go back to key managers, key execs, and show the ROI on what's been put into this. And that's why this award is important. Some of the benefits that you will have from this award and recognition is the ability to use the logo throughout the year, showing that you've been recognized as a key supporter. You will be recognized next year at the BEA HBCU Awards Engineering Dean's Breakfast. You will also be able to use this not only as bragging rights, but more importantly, to mobilize the support within your organization. So you ask, how is this national award and recognition, how do we get here? This award is voted by each of the HBCU ABET accredited universities and by individual organizations that are part of AMIE. After those votes are tabulated, we select the top 10 from government and from industry. And we actually rank those from 1 to 10, and any company or organization that does not fall within that top 10, you are listed, but we do not go through and list companies after the top 10. In other words, everyone on this list is important. Everyone on the list is already a winner because we are limited by the number of votes that can actually be cast. So as we approach today to announce the first of the top 10 in government and the top 10 in industry, I want everyone on the list to hold their heads proud, to know that the methodology we've used, the integrity of the list, this has been strong for 17 years, and we have gotten feedback of how great the value is within organizations to be on the list. My only regret about the list is that it should be way larger. There should be way more companies and organizations and government agencies that see the value of these 15 schools and their ability to increase the pipeline, and that the investments that, if we look at all of the investments we make, that we can see that we still have a long way to go in supporting our HBCUs. But with that, today it's still a celebration as we leave Black History Month and we march to the future. Jennifer?
Thank you, Dr. Taborn. Now, with the help of Dr. Coger, we would like to give special recognition to the top 10 corporate and top 10 government HBCU supporters. Over to you, Dr. Koger.
Thank you, Jennifer. It is my pleasure to announce the top 10 corporate and government supporters of HBCU engineering programs. The top 10 government supporters of HBCU engineering programs are as follows. Number 10, the U.S. Department of Defense. Number 9, Sandia National Laboratories. Number 8, the U.S. Department of Education. Number 7, the National Science Foundation. Number 6, the Naval Sea Systems Command, also known as NAVSEA. Number 5, the Air Force Research Laboratory. Number 4, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Number 3, the U.S. Department of Energy. Number 2, the National Security Agency. And number 1, National Aeronautics and Space Administration, also known as NASA. Congratulations. And so that now brings us to the following corporations that are ranked as the top 10 supporters of HBCU engineering programs. Number 10, Intel Corporation. Number 9, General Motors. Number 8, MITRE Corporation. Number 7, Abbott Laboratories. Number 6, Raytheon Company. Number 5, Boston Scientific Corporation. Number 4, IBM Corporation. Number 3, Northrop Grumman Corporation. Number 2, the Boeing Company. And the number 1 supporter, Lockheed Martin Corporation. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, Dr. Koger, for highlighting our top 10 government and corporate supporters. On behalf of AMIE and U.S. Black Engineer and Information Technology magazine, we would like to thank all of the companies listed for their efforts and support of STEM education. Thank you all for joining us for the 2019 Top Supporters of HBCU Engineering Programs announcement and live webinar. We appreciate your interest and continuous support of HBCU engineering schools. We hope you were able to gain insight on this accolade and that you were inspired to support HBCU engineering programs as well. To view the official Top Supporters list and download the 2019 Top Supporters logo, please visit the first link on your screen. We encourage all of you to continue to support the HBCU engineering programs by attending the 34th Annual BEA STEM Global Competitiveness Conference. It will be taking place February 13th through the 15th, 2020 in Washington, D.C. We encourage everyone who attended the webinar today to complete the Top Supporters of HBCU's questionnaire. Please follow the second link for that questionnaire. We would also like to thank all of our guest speakers today, Ms. Veronica Nelson, Dr. Robin Koger, Mr. Bo Leslie, and Dr. Tyrone Taborn. And finally, thank you all for joining us and enjoy the rest of your day.